Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you could make sure to like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But let's get right into it. Just a couple of simple signings to go over here. So first off, we have Tyson Barrie signing a PTO with the Calgary Flames. Now, I don't really know how to take this one because there's a couple of schools of thought. Now, yes, he is aging, and this is typically what happens to players. They sign PTOs and, eventually maybe they might be able to sign a contract, if not with that PTO team, with maybe another team that gets an injury, and it kind of does make sense to a degree. I don't know why the Flames are doing this. Maybe why not? They think he might be able to find an old spark. I mean, this is a player that can score 40, 50 points a year. He's a good offensive defenseman, but he struggles mightily defensively. That's just my opinion on that. I watched him with the Leafs, and he is a struggle to watch in his own zone. Like, his Leafs tenure went really, really bad. Although, if you do put him in the right position, he absolutely can be a valuable piece. But again, he is the type of player that you do have to smartly deploy. And I want to be clear on that, smartly deploy. He's kind of like, if you put a defenseman or a forward in a terrible position, they're going to naturally be obviously terrible, right? So I don't necessarily completely hate it, but it is a little bit... Boy, I don't know. It is just a little bit like, hopefully the Flames sake, I just don't really think he'll make much of a difference. But I think, honestly, what I do think when it comes to Tyson Barrie, I do think that he is going to end up signing with another team. Like, I don't think he's that bad. Like, he played with the Nashville Predators. He obviously did take a step back. The thing is with players like this, like, let's say they have a special talent for being like an offensive type defenseman, it does make it difficult for them to, once they lose that talent, it's like, well, what can they do really that special? Do you understand what I mean? And that would be my full take on Tyson Barrie, but we'll see where this goes. Okay, so now on to Toronto Maple Leaf news. It does look like the Leafs have signed a pro-trial contract to Steven Lorentz, I believe it is. Honestly, I had never even heard of this player. I'm going to be clear. I looked at and did as much research on him as I could possibly amass. So it does look like he's a 6'4" center, pretty good and pretty. The thing is about him is he is versatile. Now, he struggles offensively. Now, here's the thing, though. If you look at what David Camp is making on their roster, and then Lorentz, it's like, honestly, yes, I think Lorentz struggles offensively, but my goodness, like, I really do think that they should move off that Camp contract. I think he's getting paid personally, just in my opinion, way too much for what he's getting paid. So this is going to be a versatile player, probably play on your fourth line. I actually don't mind the Leafs doing this simply because of their absolute and unbelievable lack of depth on center, and this is something that I've touched on, and I don't know why the Leafs aren't addressing this more. Like, yes, they are, and they do seem to be addressing the perceived lack of depth on left wing, which is actually very, very fair. The problem is, though, is even though they have a lack of depth on left wing, but they still do have Nyes and Easton Cowan, who could probably play on the left side, and if Nick Robertson ever decides to show up, they have Bobby McMahon. I mean, yeah, none of these guys are world beaters, but in any season, Matthew Nyes could have a breakout season. Like, he's a pretty talented player, right? Their center position is terrible. Like, think about it. You have an aging John Tavares as your second line center. You have Domi, who can play center, and he is relatively comfortable there, but let's be real, Domi has to be sheltered. Like, there's just simply no doubt about that. Domi has to be sheltered. So, and I think he has more value next to Austin Matthews. Like, that's not even really debatable in my opinion. So you want him on the wing, so then that pushes Camp up to be your third line center. So they need more depth there. And here's the thing, they need more than Steven Lorentz. I'm just saying in general they need more depth. I don't mind the signing because of Lorentz's versatility, though. I do think that this is a relatively sharp signing. They need more of this. They probably should just sign him to an NHL contract if they have the space, or if they don't have better options. We're going to see what's obviously going to happen with Max Pacioretty, but whatever, we'll see. Okay, and finally we do have Filip Zadina re-signing with HC Davos. This is what I was thinking. Apparently, he was thinking about signing with multiple other franchises. He was talking to multiple other NHL teams. It's interesting, though. I guess it came down to the fact that no team wanted to give him a PTO, because he was absolutely trying to find an NHL team to sign with. It doesn't seem like there's any doubt about that. Like, he was talking, I believe he almost signed with Buffalo, or there was a rumor like a PTO. I think it was just that he wanted a guaranteed contract, because he was clearly talking to other NHL teams. When it comes to Zadina, though, he is obviously it's a shame when you see a player like this, almost like a Yakupov, where clear top 10 talent, but just never really gets it together. And will we ever see Zadina in the NHL ever again? He might be a guy that might come back and have a cup of coffee, but in terms of the National Hockey League, I can't imagine him ever coming back, right? Like, I think that this is going to be it for Zadina, and it truly is a shame, because man, like, when your franchise whiffs on players like this, as the Red Wings did with Zadina, it can set your franchise back like 2, 3, 4, even 5 years if you just whiff on these top picks. Whereas if you hit on your top picks, the Nylander and Mitch Marner and Edmonton hit on some picks. If you hit on these picks, and even look at Calgary Colorado hitting on their picks, it just launches your franchise forward. And this is one of the big misses that the Detroit Red Wings did have, man. I'll go this over again and again and again and again and again, how important the draft is to building your team. For the longest time, the Leafs never cared about the draft, and la-di-da, they sucked. Now they're a pretty competitive team, although playoffs, blah, 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 I know. But yeah, no, this is obviously a really unfortunate thing for Sydney. I hate seeing a player that has that much talent, that clearly was a top 10 pick in his age category and draft, but could never really get it together. Either way, guys, I appreciate you viewing the video. If you can make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell me why I'm wrong, tell me why I'm right. Thanks for watching the video, and enjoy your day.